Hello everyone, welcome to Weeb the People, a podcast dedicated to all things anime, from the perspectives of an advanced viewer, casual, and beginner. I'm your host, Daniel.
As of recording, we're about to find out whether or not the Lakers are going to close it out tonight. My name's Malcolm.
Speaking of sports, shout out to the Cowboys. Sorry, Dak Prescott, for what's happened to you, bud. Hopefully you get better. And they put out the W, but yeah, that's like the big thing. So hopefully that call goes well.
Unlike the other big orange cow school that disappoints me every other week.
This one right here, that disappoints. Oh my god. Don't even get me started.
I'll get my horns up. I'll hook them, but sometimes I might look the other direction.
Sometimes it's hook 'em horns, and sometimes it's hook me prawns. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes it's hook this fork into an electrical outlet.
Oh my god. Well, before we get too depressed. On that note, before we get too depressed, right? In today's episode,
before I have to call my therapist.
Mom. In today's episode, we will be doing just a recap, since obviously Jake's not here, of the summer anime season 2020, and then we'll be talking about what's coming up in fall 2020, because fall 2020 already started as of October 11th. So most shows right now are on 2 episodes in. Some are just coming out. So we'll do a recap of summer and then go into fall, what to expect. So yeah. Overall, I think summer 2020 was a good season. It was pretty decent. There was a good lineup in there. For sure, though, in my opinion, the heavy hitter, the strongest anime in the season, bar none, was ReZero Season 2. Holy moly, it was, and this is the first core of Season 2. The second core is going to come out in January, so in winter 2021. So we have a couple months for that. It's 3 months before we wait for the next one. So then, Malcolm's quick maths.
Yeah, I was like, well, what is fall in Japan? Because fall technically started last month.
Right.
So winter would be 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So so try not to think too deep into it.
No, I'm about to turn my brain off in a couple of seconds. Don't worry.
But yes, so like I said, ReZero Season 2 Core 1 was amazing. I know we covered it in the anime, or in the podcast, sorry, the first season of the anime. So I can't wait until we actually dive into it, because there's so much more to talk about. And in my opinion, the second season was way better than the first season. There was more, without going into spoilers or anything, but there was more world building. We learned more about the characters, more about the world that Subaru was a part of. We learned more about the witches that we learned a little bit of in season 1. So they go more into depth. We actually meet them. But yeah, I haven't read the light novel. I haven't read the web novel. Neither one of those have I read. So I'm an anime only when it comes to ReZero, but I super loved it, and I'm super excited to continue watching that. And I'm super excited to do it for the podcast. So looking forward to that.
Was it the same animation studio that did it this season 2? All same king, same gang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gang.
Gang.
All right. But yeah, so great stuff. If you haven't seen it, go check out our episode where we review and discuss season 1, and then continue on to season 2. It's on Crunchyroll right now. So yeah. Moving on. As recurring listeners of the podcast know, I'm a huge Sword Art Online fan. And we're on War on Underworld, the second core. Yeah, the naming convention's so weird, because season 3 is Alicization. That's the first part, and then and then that has 2 cores, and then the second part is War on Underworld, which is still season 3, but it's the second part, and it also has 2 cores. So yeah, War on Underworld.
Welcome to the Xbox Sword Art Online Series SSX Tricky Snowboarder Edition.
It's
with
really,
Shaun White.
Dude, it's really weird, man. But just overall, War on Underworld, aka the second part, was really good. A1 Pictures did a stupid good job of the animation quality. It was the fight scenes were amazing. The soundtrack was amazing, and everything went well. The only thing I have is that in Alicization, aka Part 1 of Season 3, they did a lot of world building and explanation of the rules and the power system of the underworld that Kirito's in during all of this stuff that's going on. And I really liked that, and they kept to it whenever they were doing fight scenes, and they would explain stuff, and it all fit the narrative really well. And then in War on Underworld, not to go too far into spoilers, right? But as things started escalating and stuff, that's all those definitive stuff kind of went out the window. That's not to say it was bad, because it was still a fun watch, and I really enjoyed it. But I think they could have explained more. And this is coming from the perspective of somebody who's actually read the light novels. I own a couple of the light novels. So yeah, I read them all. I know what it's up to. But yeah, I think they could have explained more in the anime. So, but maybe that's just because I have that perspective. So who knows? But yeah, no, I thought it was really good. Sword Art Online.
Remind me to send you this meme that I found the other day about Sword Art Online. It's like this Windows 98 computer, and it's got just like a piece of paper taped on it, like says "Welcome to Sword Art." And there's these two shirtless dudes just wearing swimmer's goggles, laying on a bed, and there's like a knife hanging right above them. It's fucking choice.
Yes, bro. The
You
Nerf
die in the
gear.
game, you die in real life.
Yeah, but oh, speaking of, holy moly! At the end of Underworld, I totally forgot. I think I told you this, Malcolm, but there's they announced the like confirmation of Sword Art Online Progressive. So that's gonna
Oh
be
yeah, the light novel.
yeah. So it's a light novel, yes, and now they're
Yeah.
making an anime adaptation of the light novel. So that basically Progressive is a much more expanded part of season one, part one, where they're all stuck in Aincrad. And it goes like floor. Each book is a floor by floor by floor, and they go way more in depth into the floor, and it's amazing. Like I've loved it so far.
It's the only sword art that's ever caught my attention. I stopped after Gun Gale because that shit sucked.
You didn't like Gun Gale?
Gun Gale was all right. The the surprises were pretty predictable,
So you
in
didn't
my
watch the
opinion.
final arc of season two, Mother's Rosario?
Probably not.
Oh my! I can't
All
believe,
right,
I
so
can't believe
kids
I'm
will
hosting this
remember.
with you. Oh!
Finish what you start, kids.
Oh
That's all I have to
God.
say, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well. Yeah. All right. There
I'll
we
get on that.
go. Before I get too triggered. Cool. Next one. Fire Force season two came out, so it's a
Still
continuation.
coming out.
It's still coming out, exactly. It's going to continue on into the fall anime 2020 series. But yeah, once again, I'm trying not to spoil anything for those of you who haven't seen season one. But yeah, no, Fire Force season two so far it's been fun. It's been an enjoyable shonen. I feel like some parts in season two, at least some of the first couple episodes were kind of slow, in my opinion. But then right now it's definitely started picking back up. The new opening definitely helped. It's way more. It's better than the first opening for season two, at least in my opinion. But yeah, no, I'm definitely still gonna keep up with it. For a while, I was like pretty close to dropping it because I thought it was gonna be boring. But then right now it picked up back up again, really good. So I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to
the
that.
beginning of season two kind of felt like filler. Like you could have condensed it to maybe 2, 3 episodes tops, but now it's kicking.
Yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to where that leads us in this new anime season. I mentioned before in one of our other senpai suggests that I wanted to check out Misfit of Demon King Academy, Demon Academy. And it was basically just like a trash anime that I was looking forward to, and it's exactly what I got. It's basically just complete power fantasy, whatever, with a super like OP main character, and it was super fun. The show didn't take itself seriously, and it kept to its roots where like everybody else had like cool power developments and stuff, but the main character Anos, he was just like, oh yeah, I'm already broken as is, so it doesn't really matter. And
Hey
then
guys, I ate a shit ton of rare candy and like I just kill everything now.
it's like everybody's basically just level one, and he's been level 100 since the beginning. So it's
Right.
easy peasy. So I think the ending episode was a little rushed in my opinion, but overall the show was still fun, nothing too serious, and it wasn't like trash. Honestly, it was actually like there was actually a good plot. There was great animation in the fight scenes. It was fun. I mentioned before that I compared it to Cautious Hero, which has a super long name. I'm not gonna say it all out.
And a very litigious copyright claim process, I imagine too.
Oh my god. But yeah, but I think Cautious Hero from last year, I think it was actually in fall actually. I think it was better than Misfit of Demon King Academy. I think for me they're borderline kind of the same genre, if you will. Uh, they're different enough where you can argue that they're not the same, but I think in my opinion they're similar enough where you can argue they're the same, or at least compare them to. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I think Cautious Hero was better, but that's not to say Misfit of Demon Academy. I don't know if it's Demon King Academy. No, it's Demon Academy. I think it's Demon Academy.
It's probably Demon Academy.
I think it's Demon Academy.
How would you rank them up against One Punch Man, who has kind of the same flavor of extremely OP, but you try to figure out a compelling storyline to keep the series going?
Cautious Hero did a better job of like the plot overall, in my opinion, and Demon Academy was more just like a power fantasy where it's like, oh yeah, he's broken. Everybody knows he's broken. There's like nothing to it. Demon Academy and One Punch Man have more similarities, in my opinion, than they do to Cautious Hero.
Gotcha.
If
Okay.
that makes sense, yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
One Punch Man Season 2, because we watched season 1. That was our first show that we watched and reviewed on the
Mm-hmm.
podcast, by the way. But
One Punch one episode. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One Punch Man season 1 we watched on the podcast, and I thought season 1 was good. Season 2, I was kind of off put by a little bit. It switched animation studios, and you could definitely tell there were some parts where it was just wonky animation. And then the plot line overall it's okay in season 2, but I think
It's pretty weak.
Cautious Hero did a good job of like ramping up the stakes, and then Misfit was just fun. So overall, good show if you want to check it out. But if you're not missing too much if you don't watch it. All right, so this one. Okay, I thought we were gonna
I was about to crack his knuckles and pull out the brass knuckles and beat the shit out of something.
So I thought, and last night I figured this out while we were playing League, or was it Among Us? One of the two. I was talking to Malcolm, and I was like, "Hey, Malcolm, did you checked out God of High School, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, it was dog shit, right?" And he was like, "What?" Oh man. So yeah, I had high expectations, high hopes for God of High School. It was one of the 3 big manhwas that was getting licensed by Crunchyroll to bring over to the West. And, Tower of God did a really good job. So I had really high hopes for God of High School. For those of you that haven't seen it, once again, I'm not going to spoil anything. Let me just say, if you want to check out God of High School, read the manhwa. Just read the manhwa. Don't even bother watching the show. Because if you haven't read the manhwa and you just go into this like I did, you are legit not going to know what the hell's happening. The first 4 episodes, aka the Seoul tournament arc in Korea, that was good. That was actually pretty good. It was fun. There was a plot line. There was character development. There was power development. Everything was there. After that 4th episode, though, it just tanked. Like, nothing made sense. None of the 80% of the cast, 80% of the characters that show up on the screen, I was like, who are you? Like, I don't know who you are. I don't know what your purpose was in this story. Like, oh my goodness. It was atrocious. The main villains kind of just popped out of nowhere, and they're like, "Hey, what's up? We're bad guys." And I'm like, "Do you even know your name? Like, who are you?" And the main characters never really interact with the main villains. Like, it was weird, and nothing made sense. It was atrocious. All it had going for it, this show, were its gorgeous fight scenes and the opening and ending. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think it was good either. It was extremely incoherent, and I don't want to read into like a Wikipedia page to figure it out, because if you have to look at another source to get any idea of what the hell's going on during a fucking show, it's not a good show.
Yes.
So it was pretty to look at. That's about the only thing that was going for it. Yeah, but like Daniel said, after the whole Korea tournament arc, it was like, what the fuck? Who? Oh, so we're doing this now. It's like in the episode preview that I literally just posted today. It's like, what if you watch this movie and no one explained what the fuck was happening? And that was literally God of High School.
Yeah, it was atrocious. I had such high hopes, and it did really bad. The main problem with that was that in the manhwa, they try to this. I think it's like part 1 is what this part of God of High School is in the whole overarching story arc, right? It's part 1, which I think is over 110 chapters, either 110 or 113, something like that. And they try to adapt that all into 13 episodes. You can see how that just doesn't make it. You can't. It was bad. It was a recipe for disaster. But yeah, no, that's just my old man griping. So yeah, cool. You got anything else, Malcolm, for that?
How old are you?
26.
My equally old man also says fuck this show.
All right, cool. Okay, so I thought Malcolm had a different opinion because it sounded like he had a different opinion last night when I was talking to him. That's why I was like, what? But
oh no, we talked about this a couple of days ago, and I was like, what if we watched God of High School? And you're like, fuck that show. And I was like, oh. I mean,
that's what it was.
Kind of, but like I don't have that kind of furious passion about how bad it sucks. But.
Yeah, no, I was. Oh my god, I don't even know why I finished watching it all. I think I was just like, no, let me keep trying. It's a great series.
I know. I had hoped that I was like, maybe this episode they'll do a flashback or some sort of explanation. No, they killed an old man who had maybe 10 minutes of screen time, and then everyone else was alive. And I was like, was I supposed to care about this old man with the top hat who just died?
Dude, the top hat dude. I was like, who are you, bro? Like, oh my goodness.
Fucking David Blaine out here doing extreme magic.
He was like, what's up, brother? And he's just like,
I will avenge my grandson. Like, what the fuck?
I was like, what was your plot line, bro?
Yeah. The hell?
But yeah,
I don't know.
God of High School, I definitely recommend you skip it. Read the manhwa, but skip the anime. Right. So last thing I wanted to touch base on for the summer anime, because I know we talked about it in a previous episode. Somebody suggested there were some shows that I mentioned that I wanted to watch. However, I'm a full-time working adult, so obviously I don't get to do everything I want to, right?
But
So
with a small fee of about $10 a month, you can help us quit our jobs. Think about it.
we, the people, need you.
Weeb, the people.
Weeb, the people. But yeah, I didn't get to watch Decadence, Apare Ramen, or Teen Romantic Comedy Season 3. Maybe I'll check them out in the future, but so for now, I can't really give a proper review of those three that I mentioned before, because the only one that I was able to tackle extra that I hadn't watched previously was the Misfit one. But yeah, no. But I mean, I still am interested in Decadence for sure. And I think Teen Romantic Comedy, I think it's not going to happen. Just because it's season 3. I don't remember what happened in season 1 or season 2, so I have to watch both of those again. And I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest. I don't got time for that. Mm-hmm. So Decadence is still on the table. Apare Ramen, maybe. But I'm going to keep my hopes low for that one too. But yeah, that's summer 2020. In a nutshell, overall, I think it was decent. It was pretty good. So, but yeah, enough of the past. Let's dive into the current, the now, with fall anime 2020. So, I think there's a lot of good continuations in terms of like new seasons for currently airing shows right now, and there's also new fresh blood in terms of just like new adaptations of anime and anime originals as well. So, with that, some of the continuations that we talked about already were Fire Force Season 2. That's continuing on into fall. So, look forward to that. Another continuation, season 3 of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? I've watched season 1, and then I watched like the side story anime too, and I thought it was good. I haven't seen season 2 or season 3. I kind of just forgot about them honestly, but I think it's a decent show from what I remember. Yeah, what's up?
Is that the only one in like a series, or is there like Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a blank, like another? Because I feel like that title rings a bell, but I don't remember it being in a dungeon.
Does it ring a bell? AK, that's the name of the main character.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's actually his name, Bell.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't. Completely unintentional.
I was like, yes.
Wow, look at that. No.
But I don't really know. I mean, I don't deep dive this series like I do Fate, so I don't really know the answer to that. Honestly,
like maybe there's a castle, and then there's like one about a cave.
No, I mean, maybe it's like where they take place. Because
maybe.
Yeah, because as far as I know, it's only this series and then the side story, the Oratoria something. I don't remember. I watched it at midnight, so I don't remember. There's also the regular at Magic High School season 2, which I really enjoyed the first season of that, so I definitely need to watch season 2. I watched the movie also that came out a little bit before, a couple months back. So I think once again, this is one of those power main character is super broken anime where the main character is obviously like super strong in comparison to everybody else. Like there's no contest whatsoever. And as long as you go into that, knowing that the main character will never be beaten, it's a really good show. Like don't have hopes that the character's going to be beaten because it's not going to happen.
Plot armor.
Like imagine plot armor, and then that plot armor has plot armor.
Got upgraded by Orn post level 13.
Yes. Which that was a nerf actually, like because before I think it was like level 6, right?
Yeah, it used to be real early, but now it's 13.
Yeah, and I was like, damn.
So don't fucking flame me on ARAM because you're level 11, bro. What the fuck's going on?
I know. Yesterday we were playing Earth on League, and I was like, "Hey Malcolm, can you upgrade my weapon?" And he was like, "Bro, don't ever ask me to fucking upgrade my weapon. I'm level 13."
You watch your fucking mouth, man.
I was just farming top lane, and I was like, oh, "Okay, my bad, bro." But yeah. So moving on, we have Golden Kamuy season 3. I've only watched season 1, and I really enjoyed it. It takes place during the whole like Russo-Japanese War era, with the indigenous what are they called?
Samurai?
No. It's like the indigenous people of Japan. They're like kind of like how
there's a word for it. Yeah.
Yes, it starts with an A. Oh my god, Anuki? No, I don't remember.
It's something.
Not Anbu.
Yeah. Anbu Black Ops.
Twins.
Naruto fucking ruined our entire. Oh my god. I hate. Oh god, Funimation, fuck you. Holy shit. Your roots are deep in our minds. God.
They're ingrained into us.
Jesus.
It starts with an A, but yeah, it's
Yeah, my great
Ainu.
grandpa was
Ainu.
Malibu Black Ops.
I think it's Ainu. The Ainu
Oh,
people.
that sounds right.
Yeah, so it's like during them, and one of the main characters, she's one of the Ainu people, and it's really cool. It's a really good show. I recommend it. I don't want to go too deep depth into descriptions and all that because we have a lot of shows that we're going to talk about. And then Haikyuu season 4 part 2, right, Malcolm?
Correct. Before season 4 started off, I think in the spring, and it was all the build up to the national tournament, and now they're finally kicking off the national tournament arc, which is I think the last arc before the series actually ends, and I am going to cry at the end because that shit is gonna hit me like a brick wall. It's gonna be good.
I still need to watch it. I think I watched the first episode and I just did not like the main character's voice, man. Like it was
Subbed or dubbed?
subbed.
Yeah, it grows on you.
Are you watching it subbed or are you watching
season
it dubbed?
2. Subbed. Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Dubbed? No.
Okay, that's why I was like, I don't know. Because
I listened to it dubbed, and it made me cringe so hard, so fast that I immediately switched right back to sub.
Nice.
I couldn't even finish an episode.
There it is. That's what always happens.
And I think I talked about this in another Senpai Suggest, but I feel like they got 3 people to do the voices for every single person in that show. So you could not, unless you were physically looking at who was talking, you couldn't tell who was speaking.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Fun fact: the composer for Haikyuu is the same composer for My Hero Academia, Yuki Hayashi. So if you haven't checked out his music, definitely check it out. It's super well done, and I want to do an episode in the future talking about like composers and stuff in anime, because you could definitely once you get accustomed to how they always make their music, you could definitely tell like in a heartbeat. Oh, like I said, that's Yuki Hayashi or that's Hiroyuki Sawano. Like easily, no question, no doubt. So that'll look forward to that. I really want to do an episode on that.
Fun fact to all of our young listeners, everything in the world has a pattern, and you might think you're unique, but people will pick up on your tick, and nothing is unique. Every thought has already existed before. Who was that? Was that Einstein? That was like, there hasn't been an original thought in like 10,000 years or something like that. Malcolm Gladwell, what's up? We share the same first name. It's probably you.
All I know is that I've picked up on Malcolm's quirks in Among Us, and I clapped him last night.
Yeah, we all have our own Deku quirk books that we just pop open when we open up a game, just like. Oh, it's Daniel. Here it is. He did it.
He did it. All right, vote him.
I don't even listen to people talk anymore. I'm just like, so where? Yeah.
And I figured out last night that Malcolm actually doesn't know where anything is in the game. So.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. As soon as you ask me to say anything specific about anything, I'm like, trash? There was trash in electrical?
There was trash in the middle of the room in cafeteria?
Oh, yeah. I was definitely heating up the Hot Pocket there. Yeah. That's what I was doing. That was my task.
All right, but enough of that. In my opinion, the heavy hitter of anime in this season is definitely Jujutsu Kaisen. The first 2 episodes have already aired up until this point, which is October 11th. So, so far, I could definitely recommend it. Oh, man. Once again, it's Studio Mappa that's, cleaning and wiping the floor with every other studio this year. Holy moly, Studio Mappa has done an amazing job this year, considering all that's going on. What's up?
God of High School too, right?
Yes. So, animation-wise, God of High School is great.
Yeah, you can't blame the story on them. That's not them.
That's not animation wise. Oh man, they've
oh, it's fucking great.
Oh man, it's ridiculous. But yeah, so this one I definitely want to go more into depth because this one it feels refreshing. It's really good so far. Something I want to mention is that there's the if I haven't talked about it before, I might have mentioned it in passing, but
I think you did.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I did. But there's the famous 3-episode rule that a lot of people like to follow, specifically in anime, just because of the pacing and stuff. So what it is basically 3 episodes in, when you watch a show, you should already know whether or not that show's going to be good or if it's going to be bad. And that, for the most part, that's actually a really good formula to follow because 3 episodes in, that's already approximately an hour of your time. That's approximately a fourth of the anime. The story should already be set. You should already know, for the most part, who the characters are, what they're going to do, what's going on in the show, blah, blah, blah. And I can definitely tell you, even though it's already only been 2 episodes of the 3, I'm still going to watch it, for sure. And I can highly recommend it already. Hopefully, it's not a God of High School and it just flops, right? And I just feel embarrassed and I have to come back and edit this part out of me recommending it, right? Uh,
Little retcon action.
yeah, super. I never said that.
I feel like Daniel at one point said, "Oh no, we're gonna gaslight you so
No,
hard about that."
no.
Never happened.
Never happened. So yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen follows the story of Itadori Yuji, who has his life completely turned around by the hidden world of demons and curses. He ends up joining an academy for future exorcists and has to rid the world of a powerful demon and curse. You know
How
what that
is this
sounds like?
different from Blue Exorcist?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah,
Hold on.
yeah. It's so much more grittier though. It's much more dark. I wouldn't classify it as a shonen. I'd classify it more as seinen. Honestly, it
I don't know.
features.
I'm pretty sure you watched the dude's dad die for like 3 minutes straight in Blue Exorcist in like episode 2.
That's fair.
And they burned down an entire like Catholic church.
Yeah, and then they go quickly back to chibi mode, and they're like, so.
God.
But yeah, I mean, so it sounds the same, but my God, the animation's gorgeous. Like, if you guys haven't checked out the opening animation, the minute and 30, like literally just Google it, Jujutsu Kaisen opening. It's one of the most beautiful openings I've ever seen in a while. So it's really good. The song slaps as well. Very well done job. The anime is directed by Sunko Park, animated by Studio Mappa, and was originally a manga series written and illustrated by Gege Akutami. So yeah, definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. Jujutsu Kaisen.
I mean, the show's gotten a lot of Reddit awards on Reddit. Like pops up all the time when you go to r/anime.
Yeah, it's really.
I mean,
good.
anyone can pay for awards. It's not like it's fucking good shit. But I mean, people think spending 5 cents to put a tag on a thing is worth it. Then it's probably good.
Internet points, man. Internet clout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the next one we mentioned in our manhwa episode. But this is to round out the trilogy of manhwa that Crunchyroll has gotten their hands on. And the last one is Noblesse. So, just a quick recap. Noblesse started as a web manhwa written by Son Jae-ho and illustrated by Lee Kwang-soo, serialized on Webtoon since 2007, and concluded its run in 2019. So it's done. The anime series is animated by Studio Production IG. The director and cast are already chosen. I literally just copy and pasted this from a while back. So,
Oops.
yeah, yikes, y'all caught me red-handed. Yeah, the story follows a noble named Rai, who has been asleep for 820 years and has reawoken into the modern era. As one would obviously do, he enrolls in high school after he reawakens and reunites with his little servant Frankenstein, and together, along with other friends, goes on an adventure and attempts to discover Rai's past.
Were you looking at me?
Yeah, because you were like thinking. I was like, oh, is he gonna say something?
Oh no, because I think this is like a big point of contention with the Haikyuu fandom is that like the first 3 seasons were produced by a certain anime studio, and then I think it's Production IG who's now taken over season 4 of Haikyuu, and they've gone like back to the original manga style drawing of it, so it looks a little bit different. Like every character has. It's pretty jarring initially because of the different studio art
you were so used
changes.
to the other one.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that might turn you off, but like the story's good. Just fucking watch Haikyuu.
Yeah, so that sounds similar to what's going to happen with Attack on Titan, actually. So remember, Attack on Titan seasons 1 through 3 were done by Wit Studio, and now season 4 is done by, you guessed it, Mappa. So I still have hopes for the series. Like I'm not worried.
Is there no monopoly laws of the anime?
Dude, I don't know, bro. But yeah, like I said, Mappa's been like wiping the floor with every other single studio out there right now. So I trust them.
Trust them.
Yeah, so that sounds very similar. It's happened before too, so sometimes it sucks, not gonna lie. And other times it's good. So we'll see. But yeah, Noblesse, go check it out. I haven't watched the first episode. I really need to. I really want to. So yeah, do it. Another of the most anticipated series of this season is definitely, like, I guess you would consider it a sequel, and that's Yashahime Princess Half Demon, and this is set in the future. It's a time. Okay, no, it's set in the same universe as the Inuyasha world.
There you go.
Yeah, so because there's a lot of time travel involved, so I'm gonna read it the synopsis. So here we go. The daughters of Sesshomaru and Inuyasha set out on a journey transcending time. In feudal Japan, half-demon twins Toa and Setsuna are separated from each other during a forest fire. While desperately searching for her younger sister, Toa wanders into a mysterious tunnel that sends her into present-day Japan, where she is found and raised by Kagome Higurashi's brother Sota and his family. 10 years later, the tunnel that connects the two eras has reopened, allowing Toa to be reunited with Setsuna, who is now a demon slayer working for Kohaku. But to Toa's shock, Setsuna appears to have lost all her memories of her older sister. Joined by Moroha, the daughter of Inuyasha and Kagome, the three young women travel between the two eras on an adventure to regain their missing past. So, holy moly, it's been like legit decades since I've last watched Inuyasha. That was like one of our animes growing up as children. So,
peak primetime anime.
Honestly, yeah, it was solid. I remember watching it. I was like, oh, this is super awesome, whatever. So, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember anything from Inuyasha.
Not a fucking thing.
I don't know if this is, Malcolm, this might be one of those things that we were talking about. What's my next big show that I'm going to tackle?
Yeah, binge all the way through.
Binge all the way through Inuyasha, man. That might be it. To catch up so that we can actually watch this and be like, oh, okay, that's who everybody is again. I remember. Because I think in Inuyasha, I think Kagome, she was the high schooler and she traveled back in time.
Probably. I
think she was a high schooler. She traveled back in time, and then she meets Inuyasha.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's how it all starts off, and it's like a bunch of demon stuff. Everybody loves demons and exorcists. Like that's apparently a big thing over there. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, my mind's clogged right now thinking about that robot chicken skit where it's like the dad trying to watch football and it's the little girl's like, "Shut up, Dad! I'm trying to watch Inuyasha." So he plays the super long con where he's like, "Hey, Kagome's on TV. Why don't you blah blah blah?" And I was like, "Oh god!" And she gets so embarrassed. And he's like, "Fucking finally, watch football again."
Yeah. That's such a dad power move. Like, oh man, that was really good.
God, I'm gonna do that to my kids all the time.
Oh, me too, man. It's gonna be awesome. But yeah, no. So I have high hopes for this. I haven't watched it personally, and I think the first two episodes have already been out. But all I can say is that I think so. So all I can say is that it's been highly anticipated. People have been looking forward to this for a long time, ever since it was first announced. So I definitely think it deserves at least a chance to be watched. So I think I'm gonna wait on it. Maybe I'll catch up with Inuyasha. I'll really try. But like I said, full-time working adult kind of sucks. So who knows? With that, last little thing I wanted to do was, now that we've gone in depth into some anime and we've talked about season 2s and stuff, or season 3s, whatever, I just wanted to mention some other anime that like have piqued my interest. Some of those are, let's see, because there's a lot of them. So there's so many anime. As always, like we always talk about in multiple episodes, there's too many damn anime in each damn season. So there's no way you're gonna watch every single one, unless if you like don't work and you have no schooling and you're just chilling, you're just vibing. So, okay, enough of that. One of the ones that I watched the first episode on this one. I'm Standing on a Million Lives. It seems promising. It's an isekai, kind of. I think it's like a video game isekai. I don't really know. The guy gets like transported into a video game world or whatever, but like apparently they can go back and forth between the real world and like the video game world as long as they complete the quests and stuff. The main character is like depressed, I think, and he doesn't like Tokyo because he's depressed, and he likes the game world because he actually can do things. I don't know. Seems interesting so far. I've watched the first episode. I watched it like an hour ago, so okay.
Animate onto the show notes. So
yes,
we in it.
Yeah, we in it. Another one that seemed interesting was Our Last Crusade, or The Rise of the New World. I think a quick little read on it. It was something there was like two empires. One of them was like science based. One of them was like magic based. Whatever, a bunch of witches and stuff.
Are you sure you're not talking about
a certain scientific railgun? Negative.
No, Senku.
Oh, Dr. Stone?
Dr. Stone, yeah, that sounds exactly like Dr. Stone, except magic is science.
Yeah. Kagaku no Oku. Dude, I love that whole. Speaking of, let's dive right a little bit. I like that whole like scene where like he like has to make like spoilers. Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah. But only one guy truly appreciated it, and he was like, you know what? I think I'll give up my double agent life.
Yeah.
Just for one sip of Coke.
He was like, oh, worth, bro.
Yeah, the ingrained advertising in that show is fucking astronomical. They play that long con so hard.
Which, by the way, if you haven't seen the Snickers and Dr. Stone commercial ad, that one's funny too. So, but yeah, no. So it's apparently like two empires, and then like like there's like a guy who's like the youngest officer ever in the science place, and there's like a witch on their side, and she's like one of the greatest witches of all time, blah blah blah. And then they fight, whatever, and the longer they fight, apparently they fall in love. But it's like a Romeo and Juliet story, but more anime. I don't really know.
It kind of starting to sound like Saga Tanya the Evil at this point.
Eh.
It's like 14-year-old little girl who's also a witch, thanks to the all-seeing god or whatever.
But he reincarnated, and he's actually a dude in a girl's body. Yeah, anime.
Anime.
Wandering Witch: The Journey of Elena. I think that one's more of like a feels good journey where like this witch, she like travels across the country, like discovering new shit. People on Reddit like it. I don't know. I haven't checked it out, so it seemed interesting.
What if we did Christopher Columbus, but kawaii? Is she gonna do
money?
Wandering Witch: The Journey of Elena and the Destruction of an Entire Native Species, not species, race of human beings. God, fuck Christopher Columbus. Oh shit, that's Monday. Hey, fuck that guy.
Yep.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy 1.5 pay to me working that day. So. I think the last one I mentioned was Warlords of Sigdrifa. I think this one's the anime original that I was talking about earlier. I think I caught eye of it a couple months back, and it seems interesting. I think it's something to the effect of like there's like these like an evil entity that's gonna like destroy humanity, basically aliens, I think. And then like some random god out of nowhere named Odin, he's like, "Hey, what's good?" And he's like, "Hey, let me help you guys out. Let me help you humans out by fighting these like, alien things." And he gives them Valkyries, but they're like human pilots, females, and they're like pilot shit. I don't really know, bro. I did a quick read of it.
What is this? The plot of Thor 4?
Thor 4 Kawaii. Money. But
Marvel Animation Studios? Oh, a Marvel MCU in anime form would make so much bank.
Oh, what's that? Direct deposit from Marvel Studios anime department.
Oh, Kevin Feige.
Check it out, guys.
I'm busy. I gotta go, y'all.
But it seems interesting. So I'm always hopeful for anime originals. I think it's like a risk that people will take with those because you never know if it's going to do amazing or if it's going to flop. So who knows? I like to stand by them and watch them for myself. So maybe I'll check it out. But yeah,
I love Chris Hemsworth, so let's do it.
Let's do it. Like I said though, there's so much anime out there. We don't have enough time to do that. So hopefully, maybe at least like one or two of the ones that I haven't seen already, I'll pick up. But yeah, and there's plenty others that I didn't mention just because the list is so damn long. So if there's one that I didn't mention or we didn't talk about today, feel free to message us, DM us on any of our social medias. We love talking about anime and stuff. We've had a couple of you guys branch out to us and mention shows that you've liked, and we've had awesome discussions, so it's been really fun. Thank you guys for that. And thank you guys for your recommendations as well. We've gotten a couple of recommendations, so we've been talking amongst the three of us, trying to decide what we're going to watch all the time. So, and we try our best to like get to everybody. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's just not doable. But thank you guys so much for always throwing out your recommendations, and keep doing that. Keep talking with us. We love talking about anime. That's why we do this podcast. So yeah, anything you'd like to add, Malcolm, before we wrap it up for the night?
We are going to watch Beastars in the next 2 weeks, so
look forward to that.
Get ready for that.
Yeah,
murder mystery.
Because season 2 got announced. Was that for? That's for next year, but
correct.
I don't know when. Did they give a season or a season date?
No, they just
did the promotion, right?
The
promotional art. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So look forward to that. And with that wraps up this episode. We would like to thank Joakim Carew for the use of his music in our podcast. The intro is Dreams and the outro is Lowrider. Links to his contact info will be in our show notes. If you enjoy listening to us, please make sure to rate us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If video format is more of your thing, then make sure to subscribe and check us out on our YouTube channel, Weeb the People Podcast. Check out our website, weebthepeople.com. Make sure to follow our Twitter handle at weeb_the_people, Facebook page, Weeb the People, and Anime Podcast. And finally, our Instagram, Weeb the People Podcast. And once again, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, whether that be recommendations, questions, you just want to talk to us, what have you, make sure to DM us on any of those social medias that we mentioned, or email us at weebthepeoplepodcast@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm your host, Daniel.
go to YouTube and look up the channel Lumberjack Week, where I'll be posting my 9th year of my stupid promotional plaid project, Lumberjack Week. My name is Malcolm.
This has been Weeb the People Senpai Suggest, and have a great evening.